one of the best parts of season 1 was whenever your characters showed up, because you guys had those scenes where you guys had to the phone and talk to each other and have to act that out. Maybe briefly walk us through like what that process was from technically to maybe even the emotional acting part of it, because I mean there were some moments where I was starting to cry and Grant was crying at the time.
It was an amazing connection. I can only speak for myself. He may have gone, I hated every moment of it. I could barely stand to be in the same room. In fact, I'm thinking of moving to a different end of the couch. I don't know. But when I heard that this actor, Grant Gustin, they were finally going to do a new version of The Flash, I watched his backdoor pilot on Arrow. And I watched him tell the story to the other actors, and I couldn't see the acting. All I could see was the truth. And I was like, oh yeah, I want to work with this. Now, part of our backstory was written for us. We're both from Norfolk, Virginia. We were born in the month of January.
A week apart.
A week apart. He was born the year I was doing The Flash for the first time. So I knew the role he was taking on. He knew I had played the role. And so really, a lot of times, all we had to do, we didn't have to rehearse. We just, I so admire and respect and love this man. Don't just forget.
I love him too.
That really, the problem wasn't working up the emotion. The problem was not letting the emotion run away with us. Because if we have the experience, then we need to leave room for you guys to have. Oh, I gotta tell you this story. The upfronts. I had not seen the pilot. Grant, I hope you don't mind telling you this.
I don't know what you're gonna say.
And I hadn't seen the pilot, and Grant had. And so Grant came up to me, and we had done the prison scene, and I said, did it work? How was it? He said, man, I was sitting there gripping the seat saying, it is so not cool to cry at your own scene. So I said, all right, then it worked. But those are some of the most moving scenes of my career, which was one reason it was hard to reset and play cold as Jay Garrick.
I mean, for me, it was that first season especially. I loved the whole cast. I felt so fortunate. Tom, John, and Jesse in particular. I really looked up to that first season, and I had some really special work with all three of them. I felt, and I learned a lot from all three of them that first season. There wasn't a lot of acting that went on. It was like the freest I'd ever felt, especially on camera. Flash season 1 where I was trying to figure out how to not feel tense on camera, not feel nervous all the time, and relax. And those three, I feel like it's really where I learned how to do it, because you guys were so experienced, and I just really looked up to all three of them, and they all were such grounded actors and beautiful actors, and it was just easy. It was just like all my work in season 1 was like pretty easy because of you guys.
And we look up to all three of you guys too.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Unfortunately, I believe this is all the time. We have time for one more, so you will be our last one. I'm so sorry for the rest of the line. I know I'm the bad guy. I apologize.